Happy Hump Day, everybody. It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials. Today, I want to speak to any insurance agents out there who are interested in selling Medicare Advantage year round. I'm going to do a couple of videos on this, but today I'm going to start with that very first component. AEP is over, January is upon us, and we want to sell some more Medicare Advantage. What do we do? What's our plan? And what are we going to use to accomplish that? So I'll jump right into it, guys. When the year starts out, we now have something called the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. Okay, and this is really great for agents who focus on selling Medicare Advantage or want to add that to what they currently do. So what this is going to allow us to do is the first quarter of the year, it's going to allow us to continue working and helping people even without the low income subsidy, the dual Medicaid market. We can work that year round, right? But because of the Medicare annual open enrollment period, Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, we don't have to go after the LIS from January to March. So let me explain. Okay, so first of all, what is it? I've already said it a couple of times. Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. It runs from January 1 to March 31st, okay? So you've got 3 months there, the first quarter of the year where this enrollment period is applicable. So how does it work? Who can we touch with that? It is simply for people that want to go from one Medicare Advantage plan to some other Medicare Advantage plan. So it can be MA with only to MA only. It can be MA PD to MA PD, MA PD to MA only. Just anything that is Medicare Advantage. They can go from one Medicare Advantage plan to another. Okay? When you make this move in January through March, it's always going to be effective the first of the following month that you make the change. So let's say you sit with somebody January 15th. They have one time to use that MAOEP election code, okay? If you do it January 15th, it begins February 1st. If you do it February 10th, it begins March 1st. If you do it March 20th, it begins April 1st. Can't do it more than once, so if you do it in January, your new plan starts February 1st. You cannot use MAOEP again. Even though it runs through March, they already used their one go at it for that quarter. It's also important to note when I say it's from MA to MA, Medicare Advantage to Medicare Advantage, it does not work if you're on original Medicare. You can't move to Medicare Advantage not using this election. And you cannot go from Medicare Advantage back to original Medicare using this election. So remember, the MAOEP election enrollment period is really only going to help people who already have a Medicare Advantage and they're either unhappy or something better has moved in they weren't aware of and they want to make a change in the first quarter of the year from one Medicare Advantage to another. So there is one rule with Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, MAOEP. You cannot explicitly advertise it, so you can't run Facebook ads or send out mailers saying it's the MAOEP, it's your time to change from one to another, right? You still, obviously, you can still use your traditional marketing methods, whatever those are. You just can't go out and advertise the MAOEP, so to speak. All right, so now let's talk about, we kind of understand what it is. Let's talk about why it's so useful to us as agents. So if we did not have this enrollment period, which we didn't used to have, then you really would just need to focus on the LIS market if you were wanting to sell some more Medicare Advantage plans, because LIS, which is low income subsidy, although anywhere on that spectrum of Medicaid, extra help program, they do qualify to make a quarterly change to their Medicare plan if they want to. So we're able to do that, but what we're going to do now that we have MAOEP is we're going to focus more on low income after OEP ends. So January through March, we may still skew towards low income with our leads and our demographics, but we can raise that income up a little bit. It allows us to target people with higher than 20 or 30,000 of annual income. So we're big believers in direct mail leads, and so you've got to identify what income brackets you're going to mail those advertisements to, those postcards. And if Outside of OEP, we're going to want to keep that low. So it's really likely that they've either got Medicaid or they can qualify for extra help, something on the low income spectrum. However, from January through March, we might raise that up 0 to 40, 0 to 50,000, or whatever works in your market, but you certainly can go above the quote unquote low income range. This allows us to see many more people from January to March. And guess what? We're really able to help a lot of people that are unhappy. So if you're sending out a mailer that talks a lot about additional benefits on like dental, vision, and hearing, they may have switched to a new plan, maybe unknowingly or unwittingly. They weren't aware that they lost some extra benefits that are really important to them, like a dental rider or something for hearing aids or transportation on their plan. So anybody, and it doesn't have to be for extra benefits. They could be unhappy because their doctor's not in network with this new plan. They could be unhappy because one of their prescriptions, they forgot to plug it in or tell their agent about it, and it's not covered on the new plan, or their drugs are more expensive this year and they weren't aware of that. There's a million reasons, but it opens us wide up to anybody with a Medicare Advantage plan from January to March who is unhappy with what they've got, where we can come in and be the savior and help put them in a plan that fits better for their situation. So just a quick tip, I wanted to keep this short, a quick tip on the MAOEP. Although we cannot directly advertise MAOEP, we do want to make sure that we send a postcard and or call all of our current customers, because you just never know what about, especially if they made a change, but regardless, if they made a change during AEP, regardless, call them, send a postcard to them, just letting them know, hey, I'm your agent, I'm your first point of contact if you're having trouble, because other agents can come in and be the savior and come behind you and take your customers. So we've got to be proactive with any of our current customers specifically from January to March. And then also just make sure you don't put advertise the enrollment period. We're just reaching out, touching our customers like we normally would. It's just an important time of the year to do so. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful. I'm going to roll out a video that just explains a little bit more how we can sell year-round using LIS dual Medicaid market. Have a good one.